Welcome back, everybody, to the Breakdown Podcast YouTube channel. My name's Corey, and with me today, once again, to break down the latest episode of Stargirl is Vic.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. Good to see you again. How are you, sir?
I am good, and we do hope you all are as well. I guess that makes sense.
Say that five times fast. I hope you're well as well.
We do our show live, just in case you aren't aware, every 7 p.m. on Tuesdays Eastern on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/MillerKing_51. The link is in the description down below. Please join us. And currently we're talking Marvel's What If as well as DC's Titans. So come by, join the conversation, and have a few laughs and hang out with us. And also, while we do have a break here, we do want to let you know, if you could hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, and leave us a comment. Let us know what you thought of the video, and give us your thoughts on the episodes as well too. We would appreciate it, and it does help our channel out a whole bunch. So, with all that said, let's break this latest episode down. You broke it?
I broke it. All right. So, everyone, welcome back to this episode of Stargirl. This is episode 4, Summer School, chapter 4. Cindy's on a rampage. She has decided it is time to recruit the Injustice Society. And she steps first into the ring after Isaac, the fiddler's son. Is that the fiddler? The violinist? What the hell was he called?
No, he's a fiddler.
Was he? Okay, so he's a fiddler. Mm-hmm. So she's like, hey, you wanna belong to something? Because, of course, he's sitting in the corner. Everyone else has left the lunchroom, and for some reason, he's the last kid in the lunchroom.
Hold on. I got to call timeout on that.
Yep.
I've been to summer school, not once, but twice.
Right.
No, thank you. But we never had lunch. So I'm kind of curious as to why they're basically having a full-blown lunch period.
I'm trying to remember, but I'm pretty sure we did. Because we had an extent, like our summer school was only half the normal length of time, so we went for the full day, and then we only had like half of a and I think it ended at like 2 maybe, but because it was longer, we had a shorter summer period, a sort of summer school period because it was a longer day, and we did have
our classes. They would run until like I think you'd start at like 7:30 or something, and would run till like 11.
Yeah, so they didn't have to feed you lunch.
And that was the whole point. Lunch. And then of course I think that was because they would have a second class afterwards, but I'm not positive on that. But still, there was never any lunch. So
yeah, the morning group and the afternoon group or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I felt that was kind of odd. But go ahead, carry on. I know I nitpick about little things.
But on top of that, like if there's not that many people in the school for summer school, so it's not like there's an extended like lunch period. So why is he just sitting there by himself? Like, shouldn't he have come in with the rest of the summer school group, eating his lunch, and left with the rest of the summer school group? And Cindy walks in and she's like,
and I don't think it's cost effective either for the school. Now that I think about it,
it did look like a bag lunch though, so they may make them bring their own.
But in in the earlier scene. There was a lunch lady scene, and she was like selling whatever. So I don't know. I just feel it's really not cost effective. Yeah, and I think the town should really look into this.
Well, it's an odd conversation we're having here, but it also looked like there's obviously Artemis is there for some reason, and I'm thinking it's because they have summer football practice. And apparently that's involved with them going to lunch as well. I don't know exactly how this school is set up, but anyway, Cindy goes to recruit Isaac, and she's like, "Hey," he's like, "Oh, you're back." She's like, "Yeah, I'm back," and no one questions why she's in summer school because I don't think she's enrolled. Obviously, she's just roaming around the school, and she's like, "I've come back, and I decided I need to change my circle, like." I always hung out with the rich snobby kids. Now I'm gonna slum it down here with you. And Isaac's like, really? Okay, cool. I'm like, Isaac, think about what she just told you. Yeah. Like she's literally like not. I don't understand.
She has dark hair and has 2 white streaks in it. Right. It can't be good.
She takes him down into the ISA stronghold underneath of the school, coincidentally. And he's just like, this has been here the whole time. I was like, I'm looking at it going, how does none of this freak this kid out? Like, dude, there's a secret entrance through a locker that goes into a subterranean dungeon with a picture of your parents on the wall, your dad on the wall with a bunch of other criminals. You literally just found out your dad is a super, like, well, your dad was a super, like, criminal, and your mom obviously was too. And you're just like, oh, this is interesting. And she's like, yeah, you want to join a new group? We're gonna do this. And that's the end of that whole thing. I'm like, there's
did you get
what? No questions asked?
Do you get any Judd Nelson vibes from him?
Yeah, I think that's kind of where they're going with it, but I don't think they did it on purpose.
Summer school.
I don't think they did it on purpose, but they made him very broody. They gave him a jean jacket, and that's, you know, I think that's maybe where they're going with it.
Yeah.
But they haven't all been locked up together in a library yet. When that happens, that's what we'll call bullshit. I think that's what we'll do. Artemis is on her. We're kind of getting the backstory of what happened after Artemis's parents were both put in prison, with Tigress and Sportsmaster in prison. She's been put into the foster care system, and she has that stereotypical foster mom who doesn't give a damn. All she's getting is a paycheck, and she's giving her a lunch in a plastic Ziploc bag of a Mountain Dew and a thing of Cheetos for her lunch. And she's like, how am I supposed to eat this and have any energy to practice today? What the hell?
I gotta call shenanigans on this too.
You were just full of shenanigans today.
Yeah. She is talking on the phone and she's like, yeah, I've got another one, meaning she's got multiple kids.
That's a racket. It's a racket, dude. It's a racket. Okay, so let me tell you from someone who knows the foster care system.
No politics.
No. Let me tell you for someone who knows the foster care system. Like, some of these foster care parents are literally in it to do good work, to help kids, like to make sure that these kids who don't have parents or you know, whatever, have been put in the system, get a safe home to live in. But there are others who will have a big ass house with like 10 rooms in it, and they will take on as many foster kids as they can. And all it takes is for them to convince one foster care worker that they have the space and they have the family that can take care of these kids. And once that happens, doesn't matter how fucked up those people are, they will keep taking kids. And when you get to the point you're that foster care worker who has like a stack of fucking files on their desk this high and they can't see over it, and they can't find somewhere to put that kid, they go, well, fucking Karen over there, she's got 8 rooms available. We got 8 kids. Let's just ship them over there. And they're like, hey, Karen, here's another $500 a month per kid. Think about that number. She's got 10 rooms at $500 a month. $500 a month. Think about that.
All right.
That's $5,000 a month to take care of some kids.
Expect too much out of people.
Yeah, that's society. But Artemis is like, I can't live off of this. Like, I'm trying out for college today. I've got a scout in the stands, and I need my energy. And she's like, just get out. I have a nail appointment. I'm like, oh my Lord. So she heads out on the field, and in her anger, she tosses the pigskin. Did you notice anything?
Pigskin?
Yeah. Did you notice anything about that award-winning throw of hers? Apparently, Artemis is a metahuman.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. I noticed that. I think there was something that alluded to it last season as well too.
She shouldn't be a metahuman, in my opinion, but apparently she is, because she's supposed to be like her father, just like a super athletic, like whatever. But she throws that football, and it makes a Superman. I'm Superman. I just threw a football sound. Like whoosh, and it's gone, like out of the fucking park. So I was like, okay, so they're giving Artemis some powers. So here we go. We know what's gonna happen. We know she's gonna end up being a sportsmaster, but I think there's more to the story. She goes to the jail. So she goes to the jail to visit her parents. Obviously, it's visitation day, and she goes to 2 separate jails somehow within, we don't know the time span, but she visits her dad.
It's the same one.
She visits her dad, tells him what's going on. That could be true. Tells him what's going on. And he's like, "Oh, honey, that's great." Like, nothing about like, "Oh, how are you doing?" Whatever. Like, "Hey, don't you have those tryouts this weekend? Like, you should be like ready for that." Blah blah blah. All this stuff. I'm like, they're horrible people.
Yeah.
But But though they are horrible people, they are loving parents because they know that Artemis needs them. They know that she does better when they're in the stands. So they break out of prison simultaneously somehow. And they head straight for Stripesy by kidnapping Michael and taking him to the garage, breaking into that room that, oh, by the way, has an external lock on it now, if you noticed.
Yes.
Though he's a mechanical engineer, but he cannot create a impenetrable lock for that door. Because all he did was put a hasp and a master lock on it, and Sportsmaster just ripped that open apparently. And when he goes in, he's like, "I got your kid. Let's talk."
I'm calling shenanigans. We're gonna back.
I figured you would.
Yeah. First of all, they both knew to break out of prison at the exact same time and meet somewhere. How did they coordinate this? I'd like to know that. And then why go straight to Stripesy and kidnap Mikey first?
I mean, that would be the move, though. That would be the move. Think about it. Why
not just show up at the football field?
Where are you going to hide in that little town? You need somewhere to hide.
They didn't stay hidden for very long.
Though, mind you, they are part of the original ISA, and there is a hidden base underneath of the school that they were going to. So they could have very well just hid there and been fine, but that wouldn't have...
they're already at the school because the football stadium is there, so they just walk out there, they watch, and then they sneak back in and then go back into jail.
However, none of that would have progressed the story at all.
Oh, yeah.
So they kidnap Mikey. They talk Stripes into helping them hide out until the tryouts, and then they'll go to the tryouts. And the deal was, you help us hide out until the tryouts. We get to watch her tryout, so she knows we're there, and then we'll break back into prison. No harm, no foul. I'm like, they already know you broke out, so there's already harm, there's already foul, so that's not an option. You're gonna get more time. Even if you break back in, it doesn't like wipe the slate clean. Oh, you broke out? You came back. Okay, we'll forget that happened. That's not how this works.
The whole time.
Right, I don't time out. I was in the laundry room. But Pat and Barbara, they're like, what the fuck is happening right now? Like, both of them are like, I don't understand why these people are here. And as Barbara's talking to Tigress, she's like, do you want coffee? She's like, stimulants? You feed your kid this processed food? So I'm like, oh my God, I'm so annoyed, but oddly, like, humored.
I mean, she's not wrong.
At all this shit she's calling out her Barbara for, but she's the one that's in prison right now. Like, you abandon your kid to be a criminal, but you're worrying about her feeding her kids crap.
Yeah.
If you really weigh the scales here, I'm thinking Barb's is on the higher end of that parenting scale, but I digress. They have a conversation. They kind of get to the same point, though, that teenagers are a pain in the ass. They're hard to raise, and neither one of them can fault each other for what they're doing when it really comes down to it. And after this conversation's had, I had this weird feeling the entire time that interaction happened, that somewhere in here, Artemis is going to end up living with them.
I have a feeling, based on what happened at the tryouts. Let's talk about that.
Okay, well,
they end up going to the tryouts. She's not doing good until
she sees them in the crowd.
Sportsmaster, yeah, and they started being loud. And then she realizes it, and then she impresses them. But then Eclipse shows up.
Well, Cindy shows up with Eclipso.
With Eclipso.
Right.
And messes with her head, and then she starts beating up Courtney. And so
she beats up Courtney.
The result of that is the recruiter's like, no, you're not fit for it.
Yeah, she knocks out the second kid, which I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that was the kid that has Thunderbolt. I didn't get a good look at him, but I'm pretty sure that's him.
You know what? I wondered about that myself.
I think it might be because he was like standing on the line like he was new and he wanted to try out. But he wasn't sure, and he didn't know what to do or where to go, so he's just kind of standing there, but I'm pretty sure that was him. I need to watch it again. I haven't done that. I usually watch it twice before we record, but I haven't had time this week. But I'm thinking that was him.
We may end up seeing an episode from his perspective at this exact same thing, which spawns him to end up meeting up with Courtney,
right?
And that's how he gets involved. I'm just putting that out there.
Right.
We'll see if that happens.
So,
but because of what happens here, she's not going to go to that college. I have a feeling that she is going to end up not becoming part of the Injustice Society.
Oh, no. She's definitely going to become part of the Injustice Society. I'm 100% positive that she is going to become the new sports master. And as she becomes the new sports master, she's going to figure out that it was Cindy and Eclipso that fucked up her chances at going to college and getting that scholarship. And you know why? Because Eclipso's going to tell her. Eclipso's going to try. He's going to realize that and when it all comes down to it, Cindy is less powerful than Artemis. He's going to want to take over Artemis. And in order to get Artemis to basically go after Cindy, he's going to reveal that she caused that. That's going to throw her over the edge, and that's going to drive her to working for the JSA, which it's not exactly right, but the Artemis character in Young Justice does end up working for end up working for Young Justice, but she goes in originally as a spy. Like, she converted, like, they know who her dad is, that they sent her in there, and she becomes a good guy, and through the course of spying on them and trying to hurt them, she realizes that she's really better than what she's been doing, and she converts to them 100%. And then eventually has a kid with Kid Flash. So, but with all that said, or with the Flash. With all that said, I think that's how it's going to play out. She's going to end up on the Injustice Society. She's going to find out she was betrayed. She's going to end up living with Courtney as the spy role. You see what I'm saying? Like, she's going to be like, oh, well, Courtney's parents are willing to take me in, and she's going to go live with Courtney. And because her parents are going to be like, you should probably go stay with them rather than wherever you are, she's going to agree to it. And while she's there, Cindy's going to be like, well, that's perfect because you live in her house. You can keep an eye on her and let us know what's going on. So I think that's probably how it'll play out.
Possibly.
The other big storyline is that Courtney ends up having a little tete-a-tete with Shade. And Shade explains to her why you need to let me do what I need to do and allow me to get a hold of Eclipso because I need to destroy him. I like the way he delivered that whole thing. I kind of believed him.
You believe him?
I kind of believed him. I was just like, maybe. It makes a whole lot of sense what he's saying. And obviously bad guys say truths in order to trick gullible people. But I was just like, man, maybe he's really trying to get rid of this thing. Like, it is a real possibility that he wants to throw that thing in a volcano. So
yeah, I know. That's what I'm wondering as well too. I'm kind of a little bit more intrigued in this part of the story for this season than anything else, really. And it's fine that there wasn't that much with this one because, I mean, you have to be able to extend it the entire season, at least most of the season.
Well, Beth also she hears back from Chuck. He pops back up again. And she's like, what do you mean you don't remember me? He's like, who is this? Who are you? Tell me what's going on. I'm like, this dude's lost his damn mind. And then we find out that who she's talking to is not the AI that's been missing, but it's actually Dr. Midnighter, who has been missing. And as we saw in a couple of the reflashes, and if you watch in the actual loop that I made for us, you see Dr. Midnighter get sucked into the void and in the darkness during that battle, but we really didn't see him get killed. And that's when Eclipso, I mean, Shade was like, little girl, you have no idea what you're talking about, when she started accusing him of murdering Dr. Midnighter. Right. So, with that said, we find out that he's actually wandering around in the Upside Down. Go figure.
With his cell phone.
Yeah. So, what's happening there? Yeah. I'm like, you get reception in the Upside Down? Wow.
Yeah, no kidding.
My fucking phone doesn't get reception in the back of my house. The hell? How's he been paying paying the bill for the past 11 years.
My Wi-Fi goes out every so often in the front room. So
how's he been paying that bill for the past 11 years? Do you know how old? Well, that could be the reason. 11 years ago, phones were a lot closer to analog than they are now. Analog. He's running on that 2G, baby. Yeah. That one tower that's near that fucking place that has 2G. That's what he's hooked up on. But he's coming through loud and clear now, and he's telling her what's going on. So she's going to probably eventually, because they always like making these fucking gaps in information sharing, tell them that he's actually still alive. So that's an interesting turn of events that I'm kind of intrigued to see where they're going to go with it. And also, is Shade keeping him trapped there? Could Shade actually just like pop him back out, or maybe he sucked him in and lost track of him? Like what really happened? Like what shadows is he stuck in that he didn't reemerge?
Just stuck him in there thinking that he's just lost because he hasn't heard anything from him or hasn't heard from him in all these years. He just figures he's lost to it. He's in whatever. And doesn't know that he's making some kind of connection outside because of the goggles. I'm sure that maybe we see more about that with in an episode or two. But something that we didn't see at all this episode was Joel McHale. So don't forget he's still out there.
Hold on, this is 3 episodes we haven't seen him. We only saw him in the first episode. They just kind of disappeared.
First one?
Yeah, he's just kind of disappeared from the storyline altogether. So even if his ex-wife was like, oh, he moved to wherever the fuck, Bumblefuck, Blue Valley, Blue Valley out in Bumblefuck somewhere. It still should have taken him that long to get there. To be completely honest,
to be fair, we don't know how long this has been going, or how long each of these weeks have been. It could have been like 2 days for all we know.
Yeah, but summer school doesn't last that long, so it couldn't have been that long. I feel like this is a couple days going in, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. The story has progressed well. I like the pacing. The character arcs are going pretty well. There are some pretty ridiculous things. As you said, there's a number of shenanigans that need to be rectified, but we still need to see the coup de grace, which is them getting Mikey into the Injustice Society.
Yeah, I'm still wondering how that's going to play out.
Yeah, because I want to know what value he doesn't have. I feel bad saying this, but Mikey has no value to add to the Injustice Society. It's
no powers.
Literally, he's got to be able to see that she's just using him, obviously, to get to his dad and his sister. And if he doesn't, and they let that go on for too long, I'm going to be calling shenanigans because nobody, even a kid, is that stupid to not see what she's doing.
Well,
but we'll see how it goes.
2021.
We'll see how it goes.
With that, we do want to thank you for watching. That is going to end this episode. And be sure to check us out live, 7 p.m. Eastern on Twitch, twitch.tv/MillerKing_51. On behalf of Vic.
That's me.
I'm Corey. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you next time.
See ya.